be doing every day for the month of August. And this is all in conjunction with my upcoming release of Unleash. If you're new here, this is where we will spend the rest of this month every weekday between 10 and 11 because Unleash is launching at the end of this month. And I'm going to be talking about it. And I don't want to do it once and disappear. I want to keep showing up. So I'm going to be talking about it every day until you know exactly what's inside of it. So today is day one, and I want to take you back to the prologue, which means today I'm going to kind of share with you how all of this started because it's truly the beginning of Unleash. 24 years ago to this day, I sat on a stranger's couch and wondered how I got there. I was 18 years old, freshman in college, and I had been driven in the middle of the night on a Sunday. I was squished in the back seat of somebody's car in between, I think, like four other women I barely knew, to a house I had never seen in a neighborhood I couldn't have like found my way out of if I tried, right? It was 9 o'clock at night. And who has guests at their house at 9 o'clock at night? No one. So I sat on this couch in a stranger's living room, and I remember thinking, like, what in the world am I doing here? Right? Is it too late to leave? And if I left, could I even get back to my dorms? And then the question started. One of them looked at me and said, like, is there anyone who would object to what you're doing? And I said, I don't know, maybe my mom's, right? She said, call her. I said, nah, she sleep early. I don't want to call her. She cool, she cool, she cool. She's not going to answer. She says, well, if it's God's will for you to speak to her, then she'll answer. Oof. I don't like when people ask me stuff like that. So I took the stranger's phone, right? And I called my mother. Strange hour of the night. Chicago, it's 8 o'clock at night. Secretly hoping that she wouldn't pick up. And she picked up on the first ring. And I said, hey, I don't remember exactly how I said it, but it was something like, hey mom, like nothing's wrong. I just wanted to call you and let you know that I love you very much. And I'm about to give my life to Jesus. And I'm going to be baptized with forgiveness of my sin and be added to God's kingdom. I just wanted to talk to you about it before I did it. Now you have to understand something about my mother. This is a woman who had a hard time trusting the butcher at the grocery store with her meat. So this is not a woman who wanted to know, like, that her daughter is making this really grand decision so far from home. She was a woman who really wanted to know everything that was happening at every point in my life. And I had just called her from the stranger's phone, 9 o'clock at night, 700 miles away from home, and to tell her I was about to be baptized. And I braced myself for the yells, for the screams, for the profanity, try to make sure nobody could hear it. But instead, she paused. And she said, baby, I'm proud of your decision. And I think it's wonderful that you're giving your life to Jesus. I love you so much. God bless you. And that was it. She didn't ask who I was. She didn't ask who I was with. She just gave me peace. And that's what I wanted to, I want you to hear that part, because that changed in me something right then. The peace in her voice was the confirmation that I needed, that Jesus wasn't only going with me, that he was speaking to me through her. You know what I mean? So he got there to her before I did, right? And he was already softening the ground for the conversation I was terrified to have. So here's the point of me telling you that part. God will go ahead of you in every room that you're afraid to walk in. And that has been what I've led with up until this very day. This is my 12th book. I've done TEDx. I've done keynotes. God has blessed me to have a lot of experiences, but it started with that fundamental truth. God will go ahead of me in every room that I'm afraid to walk in. So I hang up the phone, I look at these women, and I say, I'm ready. They give me the quietest cheer that you've ever seen, because it's like 9 o'clock at night. And they walk me through this narrow hallway. And around the corner is the bathroom and a jacuzzi tub. And I got in, I sat down, and I made Jesus Lord. And so now 24 years later, I'm going to be honest with you. Here's what the decision did and what it didn't do, right? So the first thing, the decision did not automatically make me smarter. That decision did not automatically make me more righteous. It did not automatically, it did not make me strong. It did not make me wiser with my money. It did not make every other dumb decision that I've ever made impossible for me to make again. It's not what it did. I've chased get rich quick schemes pre and post baptism. Network marketing, you name it, I've done it. Cutco, prepaid legal, Mary Kay, all of them, right? The baptism didn't save me from any of that. It did not make me immune to hardship. Over these 24 years, I've lost friends, I've lost loved ones, I've lost babies to miscarriage, right? I lost my younger brother during the pandemic to gun violence. The decision in the jacuzzi did not spare me from grief. The decision, what it did and what it's still doing right now is show me how weak I am without Jesus. It helps me take ownership for my selfishness. It helps me to recognize my arrogance. It has made me more compassionate with people. It's made me more honest, and it's made me more human. And here's a sentence that I want you to leave with, because I think this matters. My past mistakes, my poor choices, and as I say in the book, my utter stupidity, they are the building blocks of my story. They are the foundation of who I am. They are the foundation of why I do what I do. They are the foundation of the book, Unleash, that prayerfully you're going to read. See, every superhero has an origin story, and this is mine. And the reason I'm telling you this on day one, before we go into any of the chapters, is because I want you to start thinking about your story. Parts of your story that you think disqualify you. The night you drove somewhere you shouldn't, the phone call that you were terrified to make, the seasons where you were sure that God had walked off. Those are not disqualifying you. Those are your building blocks. And so you can't skip the origin story. You have to walk through it. And that's what the whole book is about. Unleash is about walking through your origin story. Your worst nights, your most confusing decisions aren't disqualifying you from your story. They are building it. So if today landed for you, if you heard yourself somewhere in my story, I want you in the room with me, right? At the Talk Your Book Masterclass, so that we can help start shaping your story. It is $47. Not gonna hold you. The link is going to be in the description somewhere around here. And I run it twice a month. And the next one is coming up on August 11th, right? So if you haven't grabbed a seat there, I invite you to come there. But either way, right? Tomorrow, we're going to go into the how-tos. So I said Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm going to be talking about the book specifically, going chapter by chapter. And the Tuesday and Thursdays are going to be the how-tos. I want to be a resource for many of you who, you comment, you share, you like, you're secretly watching, right, behind the scenes. I want to be a resource for you to start activating your story and sharing it properly, right? And so tomorrow we're going to get into the how-to. Wednesdays, we're going to go back into the book and talk about the question, or rather the answer to the question that the whole book is built on. What did God actually put in you? Because it's called Unleash your God-given gift. And this is the thing, people are looking for it, but it's not something you have to go look for outside of yourself. It's something that's already in you. And so that's what we're going to talk about on Wednesday. What did God put in you? Hit the bell, share this with somebody that you believe needs to hear it, needs to be encouraged about where they are in their journey, in their story. And I will see you back here tomorrow between 10 and 11. All right, peace. All right, we're going to figure out how to end this better. Let me see. Push button. Yeah, we going to get good. Y'all going to get good with me with this. Hold on, let me go in.